Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin by thanking each of those who have traveled both near and far to be here today. Today I'm here to announce my intention to seek the United States Congressional seat of Congress for Louisiana District 3. Now, you know, within our lifetimes, we've all seen our district as well as our state from different views, depending on where we live and where we work. As a young boy growing up in Jeanerette, Louisiana, I see a lot of Jeanerette in here, you know, I saw the sacrifice that my siblings and my parents made. The sacrifice they made so that we could have and live a better life. Indeed, I've seen our country. I've seen our country from many views. After graduating from high school, I joined the United States Air Force. After serving this great country, which I honor, I enrolled in the University of Maryland, and after those studies, I attended the University of Southwestern Louisiana in Lafayette. After completion of my education, I started to settle myself into the district that I now call home, which is here in New Iberia, and I began working in the oil industry. Now, after many years in the oil business, I started my own business in 1988 and diversified that business in 1995, providing financial protection for individuals, families, small businesses, as well as corporations. As I traveled throughout the 3rd Congressional District, I witnessed daily those who have very little, outnumbering those who have more than enough. Many of our citizens have literally given up. They are tired, and they feel both abandoned and forgotten by those they thought would protect them the most. Our leadership. Now, there's a lot of truth in what I just said, yet we must not allow ourselves to be fearful. But most of all, we cannot allow ourselves to spend our time bickering over party lines and race and not seeking solutions to the problem that have gone unaddressed for far too long. Our current leaders claim that our issues are too difficult to solve and too complicated to discuss. They say we must learn to live with less while they live with more. They say we must learn to accept our economic and social problems because it's our way of life. Well, that's not the America I wish to see for my district, and I don't think you wish to see that either. You know, our leaders have blamed their failures on circumstances beyond their control. Party line bickering, shortages of economic growth, and high unemployment. But let me say this to you. The failures of our leaders are not the result of any failure of this country's spirit. And when I'm elected, I will consider my victory as a step in a direction of progress. I believe there is no problem we face today that tomorrow we cannot find a solution. More importantly, I cannot think of a more pressing problem requiring solutions than the need to restore confidence in our citizens, that our state of economy is sound, and our justice system is fair, and that is fair for all. We must have leadership that is willing and able to not only address these issues, but be willing to provide solutions. As a district, we can no longer ignore our problems. We must be brave enough to face the challenges we have, and bold enough to resolve our issues. I don't know about you, but I'll tell you, I'm tired of kicking the can down the road, only to find those same problems resonating in our community again and again. I think it's time we work together as a team and find viable solutions for our economic as well as our social problems that have manifested itself in our district for far too long. So how do we solve our economic problems? Well, I have a plan. We begin by diversifying our economy so that our financial dependence is not entirely based upon one industry. We need to increase our exploration and development of oil and natural gas. More production of domestic oil and gas will benefit our struggling industry as we unlock the shackles placed on us by OPEC. We must take advantage of the resources and expertise we currently have and invest in technology. We will utilize those universities within our district to spearhead specific projects that can help our communities develop and market new products without excessive costs. As a byproduct, as a result, we will end up with good paying jobs that will be added to our economy, adding and acting as a bridge whenever the oil industry is experiencing one of its down cycles. You know, it's extremely important that we begin rebuilding our economic platform for the future so that we may provide our workforce with the confidence they need to live a healthy financial life. Another area of concern is the shortfall in our state when it comes to addressing mental health issues. We simply have not provided our health industry with the resources necessary to handle this growing epidemic problem. We have seen an increase in suicides among our youth, domestic incidents directly related to mental health disease, as well as an increase in mental health in relations to police calls, sometimes ending with excessive force. Once again, our leaders have failed us, and because of that, some people have died. We must make mental health a priority. Counseling should be readily available no matter the income level of an individual. Those in need of inpatient care have found that the cost of institution is out of their budget and therefore proper treatment isn't available. As a result, we are left with damaged citizens, a lot of damaged citizens on our streets. So how do we solve it? Well, I have a plan. Every middle school through high school will have a mentally specialized professional 2 days a week to provide assistance to students in need of care. Inpatient care within communities based on income. We will utilize resident students requiring hours of service, retired mental health professionals, as well as volunteers to facilitate these problems. You know, a few days ago, we celebrated the 4th of July and proclaimed gratitude to our veterans. Unfortunately, within a few days, our gratitude for them was soon forgotten. The United States of America is the most powerfulest country in the world because of the sacrifices that was made by our American veterans. Yet we have only provided for very few of them compared to the many that gave so much so that we may enjoy the freedom we have today. Our veterans are lacking proper health care, housing, and mental care. They have laid their lives on the line, and our leaders have returned that sacrifice with empty promises and inadequate care. When I'm elected as your congressman, I will have a plan to provide clinics within the District of Louisiana providing emergency care as well as clinical care. A match program that will locate jobs and housing for homeless veterans as well as jobs for the disabled veteran. We will establish a network which will allow us to upload information from providers and match them with the recipients. We will also use abandoned buildings and acquire grants, donations, and sponsors to renovate them so that our veterans may have a place to live. Many in our district are out of work, and many are living from paycheck to paycheck. Many are in the process of losing their homes due to layoffs, cutbacks, and closures. You know, this country, this great country of ours was built. It was built upon a small businessman or woman's back. However, we have made it almost impossible for the small business person to be successful. The process to obtain assistance from the SBA, the Small Business Administration, is a lengthy process, filled with unnecessary red tape with no end in sight. We must find a way to build our small businesses within our communities. Well, I have a plan that will provide local assistance and match donors, investors, and startup money for those wishing to seek their American dream. Lastly but not least, we have suffered several setbacks throughout the years regarding excessive police force. And I know just a few days ago, we all noticed what happened in regards to Baton Rouge as well as in Dallas. And training, retraining, and yet more training of our police force will not stop police brutality or excessive force. All the training in the world is of no good if officers see people they are charged to protect and serve as being subhuman or as just being strictly dangerous. One solution to this growing problem is to establish independent civilian oversight agencies for law enforcement. Once established, civilian oversight agencies will hold police officers accountable to the public by providing independent reviews of complaints of police misconduct instead of relying solely upon internal investigation in which the police literally investigate themselves. You know, we must do a better job of recruiting our police officers so that they represent the community from which they serve. You know, now, as I wrap things up this afternoon, and I stand before you, I must tell you that we have many problems within our district. Our district, state, and country must once again place honor above political lines and individual success. Leadership in government must show the citizens they represent that they are their protectors, and they are their protectors of their liberties. Leadership should be looked upon as those who unite, not divide, those that give, not take, and those who serve, not be served. It is my belief that together we can rebuild our district, creating good jobs, good paying jobs, and a positive social environment for all of us to enjoy. Now, let me tell you, this question I know is going to come up sooner or later. And so I want to be the first to tell you that I've never been a congressman before. I don't have the experience of someone who has served continuously in Congress. But I'm offering myself to you. I'm willing to roll up my sleeves, get dirty in order to fight for what we believe and what our community needs. On that same regard, let me share a little something with you. There was a great man in the Bible. He built an ark. His name was Noah. He built the ark and he was very successful. But let me remind you something about Noah. He too was an amateur. Thank you all very much for coming out today. I appreciate your time, your support, and your prayers as we move forward. And may God bless you, and may God bless America. Thank you.